Hey everybody, I'm Kate Conroy.
And I'm Vinny Civitello.
And this is Other People's Business, which is the podcast from the New Jersey Business and Industry Association, the largest statewide business association in the country, representing approximately 1 million jobs. We release a new episode every other Wednesday, so be on the lookout for that. Shout out to New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group. They do home, auto, and workers' comp, and they are the official sponsor of the show, so check them out if you need some updated coverage.
Awesome. Just a couple housekeeping matters before we get started. This podcast is available anywhere you can get a show. That's iTunes, Google Play, Amazon's TuneIn. We even put these things up on YouTube if you'd rather watch than listen. But no matter how you watch or listen to this show it some love. Give it that 5-star review on iTunes. Drop a comment on Facebook. Like it on YouTube. Anything you can do to show us that you're out there and you like this show. With all that out of the way, with us today is one of our personal friends, Katie Wittkamp from NJBIA. Tell us how you're doing.
I'm good. You know, the work from home is working for me. So, except I miss seeing.
Right, that is the one downside. Not seeing coworkers on a regular, except for in Zooms, which is not the same.
No,
it doesn't count at all. Yeah.
No, it doesn't count at all. Okay, so today's icebreaker is, what are you currently binging? And that can be books, movies, TV, or food. My favorite answer to this question continues to be Rachel Durkin's eggs.
Yeah.
So anybody can go first. Then you want to start us off?
Sure. I saw on the news they had like an article about like the latest episode of The Conners, and I was like, that's back? So I binged like 16 episodes in a row and caught up.
16 episodes in a row?
They're short. It's like the 20-minute show. It's not like the 45-hour-long show.
Yeah.
So the thing that makes it really long is that I had to watch it on ABC's app, and they put like so many commercials, and not even so many commercials. It's like watching the same 3 commercials 200 times.
That you can't fast forward through, right? You can't fast forward those. Yep.
And if you pause the show long enough, like say you have to go to the bathroom or you want to get something to eat, you come back and it's like, we're going to make you watch that commercial break again.
That's awful. That's just evil.
But it's been a good season, so yeah.
All right. Nice.
You know what it is? It takes COVID and they try to make it really relatable. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's going through COVID now.
They kind of had to. In order to film a TV show, they probably had to have like masks on set and stuff. And so that they were kind of forced to, like Grey's Anatomy was kind of, they probably would have anyway, but they were kind of forced, like if you want to keep the TV show going, you need a reason to have a mask on set.
Yeah.
Right?
I want to know how everybody takes this into account.
Yeah. Katie, what are you binging?
Well, I did, and I watched your episode where you guys talked about it, but I did binge Bridgerton, and I binged the book series. So I don't want to talk about that, but I did read all of them too.
Very cool.
My really go-to is Friday nights. I like 2020 or Dateline. Kind of.
Wow.
Yeah. And before COVID started, my friend and I were having like parties. Like the one time it was about a couple in Texas, like he murdered his wife.
Parties?
Like a whole Texas theme, like Texas food and sort of thing. It was really becoming a thing. People wanted to be invited, but COVID hit, and now we watch and text each other.
So at first I was like, that's like hardcore news for a Friday night. You're not escaping at all, but I didn't realize that it was more like the gory murder stuff that you can find on Netflix too.
Yeah. Where now there's a lot of people, like the TikTok people bring up these big movements. Like last week was the Menendez brothers, because there's a TikTok movement to bring Menendez brothers. Yeah. So it's crazy. Or how people listen to a podcast on real murders, and now they're back investigating because somebody found something or someone turned someone in.
Wow.
So really kind of
what's going on with the Menendez brothers? What happened with them?
Nothing.
I know who they are, and it's been a long time since I've last seen them in the news. Like,
if I understand correctly, nothing happened, but somebody made a video about them on TikTok, and suddenly people are like, oh, that's right, they were a thing. Tell us more about that. Let's remember what they were.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like, watch their face. If they were faking crying about this, they never would do it. So you know how like now everybody stands in front of their camera and does movements to somebody else talking. So it's these, you know, Gen X, Gen Z, I'm not sure which ones they are, on this whole movement that they believe that they were wronged and should be freed.
Oh, okay.
So
I don't know enough about it. I was pretty young when that whole thing happened. I'm just gonna, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I am taking a break from my Star Wars revisitation because I discovered that Drag Race All Stars seasons 3 and 4 are now available on Hulu, and I am like deep in that rabbit hole, and it just gets better and better. The wigs and the glitter and the spandex and the feathers, the artistry that goes into these costumes is just phenomenal, and the things that these people say is so hilarious. I am laughing out loud on my couch alone watching these queens. It is amazing. I can't even like describe to you all of the silliness because it's just so fun. I'm not going to do it justice. But if you haven't watched Drag Race or Drag Race All Stars, you really should.
Okay.
Definitely gonna check that out. I was telling her the other day I was watching something else and it came up with a commercial that I could watch it. I'm like, oh, I have a subscription service that'll let me do this. I'm gonna have to get into that now.
On Amazon. Just don't start with season 1 because they didn't really know what they were doing yet. Start with season 2.
That's like
Okay.
every show though. I mean, you gotta usually even with the scripted shows, like you gotta watch season 1 because they set everything up. But it's always
Yeah.
so awkward those first few episodes, you know.
Yeah,
Except for
it's
the
not great.
shows that take like the first 10 minutes of the new show to revisit what happened in the old show. That can be pretty annoying. Like you want to fast forward. Andrew and I started watching The Blacklist from the very beginning. So I
Oh.
think now in like season 5. But we're back to sports, so we don't watch TV. That started like, when we couldn't really do anything, but now we have sports 7 days a week. So
Wow.
I was gonna say one of our coworkers, Angeline Lee, shout out to her, was telling me that the Blacklist's like hardcore jump the shark.
Yeah.
Somewhere I don't even remember at what point she said it happened, but maybe if you've gotten 5 seasons in and you're taking a break, that's best for you, you know?
I think that's actually about when I quit. And I was having problems with it season 1. Like she was this crazy good FBI agent and she was leaving like super early in the morning. Her hair was always like
perfect.
puffy and perfect and beautiful. And I was like, no way. I'm sorry. I don't know how long it takes for hair to look like that. She did not wake up at 4 in the morning in order to leave at 5. Like, that's just not a thing. I'm sorry.
My whole thing is now she has her daughter, but like she gets a call in the middle of the night, she just leaves. Like, who's taking care of the daughter? Because her husband's dead or supposedly dead.
Spoiler alert.
Real dead this time. Andrew told me, no, don't you remember he really got shot? I was like, I'm sure he comes
He's
back.
been fake dead so many times. It's ridiculous. And then he was bad, and then he was good, and then he was bad. It was just ridiculous. Yeah.
Speaking of dealing with COVID, though, that show was on in our house because Tara binged that not that long ago. And there's an episode, I guess it wound up being the last one that they filmed, as COVID was going on. They had to finish it post-COVID. So there's all these like comic book segments where they couldn't film something. And it's one of those things where I wonder if in like 15 years, if people are like binging that show, they're going to be like, what is going on? Why are they cutting to like comic book animation for like random scenes?
Wow.
Still on, right? I think it's still actively showing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm just
know.
like, I don't know. It's just one of those shows. We started watching when we worked. I mean, all the BIAers, we would talk about it. And then I just dropped off because I never fully watch anything. So, but now he wanted to, and we are. But then I was watching, and I didn't realize that James Spader was on The Office one season.
For a hot second, he was, and so funny.
I was watching. I was like, Reddington? Why is he? Wait. My two shows are confused
I
here.
don't remember that at all. I'll have to go back and look.
Yeah. If you toward the end, kind of everybody was on The Office for a hot second. Kathy Bates, Idris Elba, like it was.
Carell left a really big hole in the middle of the show. They had to try to fill. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they knew that it was ending, and people just wanted to jump on the bandwagon to be a part of it, and the producers were like, okay.
All
right, Katie, tell us what you do at NJBIA.
Well, I do just about anything and everything. We all do, I think, but I'm on the membership development side. So people with questions about membership want to know how to get involved, what their membership entails, what we offer. I feel, I can say, honestly, I've been here for forever. So June will be 18 years for me. So I can say that this is honestly the best benefits package or suite of benefits that we have for members. We used to be known for our insurance, and we still partner great with NJM, but we have so many benefits now that really help businesses grow and expand, from small to large, and anybody in between we can help. You know, I hate giving sales pitches. I think I just want to talk about it or what people want to say. So you want to throw something at, and I could say, yeah, we do that.
Sure. Wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't throw something at. How about HR? I know that we have a new, I don't know if it's new, but like relatively new services that we offer in HR.
Yeah, so we partnered with an amazing program with Monmouth HR, with your membership, which is, you know, could range from $3.95, that's around the normal rate for members, all the way up depending on your full-time employees. But you could get an HR platform, 24/7 questions, templates, anything for close to $900, but it's free for you when you join NJBIA. Like you get an HR and you get an HR. It is amazing. There is so much information. It's kind of, it can be overwhelming when you go on, but it keeps you compliant. It will help you write an employee handbook for those small businesses. It can answer any question that you need on paid family leave, sick leave. My employee came to work and we thought they were drunk. What do we do? This will tell you how to work through it. You can write in questions. Of course, there's always advantages for an upgrade with it. And with an upgrade, you will call a number, even if you're at home at midnight on a Sunday night and think, oh my gosh, I didn't do this. You pick up the phone and call, and there's someone there to help you. They are all SHRM certified. They do have attorneys on staff, so it's not like you're just getting kind of a bogus answer. It's all great. It's great for small and medium-sized businesses, but even those large businesses that just need some help.
Yeah, I was just going to say that it's great for like the small business that is growing but doesn't have like a set HR person yet. Like usually you've got the president of the company and then the bookkeeper. And because they're the bookkeeper, they also handle like payroll. And so they're kind of the de facto HR person, but they're not, you know, they don't have training in HR. So it's a huge liability for any company to kind of be sailing along without any HR support at all. You know, hiring and firing and everything in between carries a lot of liability if you don't do it correctly. And it's amazing that BIA just offers this benefit as an add-on. Like you don't pay for it. It's included in membership. It's great.
And it's great at the end of the last year, so many of our members went on because they were able to literally log in, download a template to do end of the year reviews, which is what I'm telling people now because 6-month reviews are coming up. And some people are like, wait, you do that? Like I need to document something, or, you know, I wrote up an employee, there's something I should do. Well, you can just literally go in and download it, put in, like it'll say insert company name. And it's amazing. It's a fully document that you can use. So, but it's funny to see that because then we go into, you know, you have the bookkeeper, but we also offer an amazing payroll processing program, you know, another benefit. We have we work with Prime Point. They give a great discount to BIA members. They are amazing, so customer service. They are New Jersey. They are actually a South Jersey company. I'm so excited to say, because most people think big businesses in North Jersey, but nope, they are in South Jersey. They've been family owned, you know, and they will get back to you right away. You actually call in and talk to a person instead of those phone systems, which is great.
And we use Prime Point for us, and I can say that I actually had to like send our guy an email once, and I was like, hey, I have a weird question. Can you put me in touch with the right whatever? And like within 5 minutes, he was like, absolutely, I've CC'd so-and-so, she'll take care. And I was like, okay, that was amazing. It was great.
That's so one of our newest benefits are 401k. So, you know, I always say BIA takes advantage of all of our programs. Like if I'm telling you about it, I might not be on the person that processes payroll, but I use it as an employee. So our 401k, and we got the name of the person to call, and I said to him, I will probably be your worst nightmare. Like I don't know anything. And he's like, well, no, it can't be that bad. And I'm like, seriously. So he's looking, and I forget the comment he made to me, and I was like, yeah, I've been there, it'll be 18 years. I never moved any account from when we rolled over. Like I was there when BIA had a 401M. He's like, that's only like people don't do that anymore. And I said, well, we went in, you know, when we transferred to the 401k, I had somebody help me. I put these into this program. I said, I don't know what I'm invested in. He's like, yeah, you've never moved anything. I'm like, no. And he's like, he said, you really did pick some good things and I wouldn't suggest moving. I was like, okay, then maybe I won't be the worst person ever.
That's awesome. You didn't have to move anything. You did a good job.
Yeah, I was like, all right then. So that works. But he was great too. I mean, I sent him an email probably like 5:30 one night. Like, I just need to talk to you about this. And he like, right, okay, tomorrow at 9. I was like, perfect. You know, so it's good to be able to really have like a face to the name you're talking to, you know, instead of just email. I know we're also used to Zoom calls and everything, but it's just great to know, like when you call, you're going to talk to them. So
I will say that it's not just us. The feedback that we get from members is the same, and I think it's a testament to the vetting that BIA does. Whenever we decide to work with somebody, we do a lot of due diligence before an agreement is signed. So I got to say that we really do a good job with that. Do you want to talk a little bit about the healthy business certifications that we offer?
sure. So now with everything going on, you know, some businesses still haven't reopened or their offices haven't reopened, but they don't realize that when you reopen, if something happens in your office, somebody came in or the delivery person came in and then FedEx calls you and says, hey, you know, John, your delivery guy, he has COVID. And then it's like, what do we do? So there's all these standards by the CDC and, you know, sometimes the FDA, like all these regulations you have to follow. So we have partnered with an amazing group and we offer this healthy business certification. So you sign up for the class. It's offered every other Tuesday. So it won't be next week. It'll be the 27th.
I actually couldn't even tell you when this show is going to release, so I wouldn't worry about the specifics of what we.
So it's every other Tuesday. It's not every Tuesday, but it's 3 hours, and the information that you learn. I mean, Kate, I think you sat in on the class. I sat in. The information that you hear, it's just crazy. You know, about if you have double staircases, staircase can only be one way up, one way down, and all of the processes that you need to follow. So you work on and you leave with a whole certification booklet. We send you a sticker, a decal for your website. You are certified for 12 months. And the team that there is amazing. Like I know they give you a half-hour complimentary with them, but they're not watching the clock if you have questions, and you really leave with the booklet that you have in your office, and it's great. We also have an individual certification program, which is amazing for those contractors or consultants that actually go into places that can say, nope, I'm certified, I know what I need to do. I know some people still are crazy about masks and who needs to wear them, but telling you this is really legality wise, if you're going in to work on a house and you're doing HVAC, you should have a mask on. So
yeah, the level of detail is just astonishing. It is so worth it to take the time just to make sure that your employees feel safe, your customers feel safe if they're in there, your clients feel safe. I can't recommend it highly enough. It's just incredible. I know that there's something else that we're missing probably.
I can pull one out of the air. How about healthcare?
I was going to say our health benefits, especially when we're talking about the people, because I mean, our team at Association Member Trust, or AMT, is amazing. I probably talk to them 5 to 6 times a week. Like they will get back to you. You know, and health benefits is huge right now. You know, the Obamacare, or who needs it, and I think everybody needs health care. But you know, it's an amazing program, and the more I learn about it, and a lot of people think that you can't, you know, you can only switch at a certain time, but you can look at any point. I send everybody to our website, and I'm like, oh, and they say, well, we don't want to change until December or, you know, January 1. Okay, but you can look now. If anybody goes to our website and you just click on the quick quote page under it's on our benefits page, you can fill in the information just to start the wheels turning. Some people, it does take a few months to get that all worked out. You know, they have 45 different plans they can customize. I like to say you get the buying power of all of the BIA membership with a plan customized for your business. You know, it's really amazing.
And it's a plan with a very, very reputable company. It's not like, here's a discounted plan and maybe you'll get to go to the doctor. It's Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield. Like, it's a really, really great plan. And we all, I think all three of us are in it, unless we're married to people that have other options. But I'm in it. I like it.
Yeah, I'm in it and I use it a lot.
I use it a lot as well.
It's amazing. You know, I spoke to a woman who I put in contact with A&T, and we still follow up with each other. And she said, you know, I saved some money. I don't think she didn't get the huge savings. She said, but I'm able to offer for almost the same amount vision and dental, and my employees never had that. You know, we just had this run-of-the-mill healthcare plan. Now they have this amazing Horizon program. They have vision, they have dental. She said, this will help me retain employees. You know, and that's another benefit of BIA. We want to help you retain employees. We want to help you keep growing. You know, we're the biggest advocates for Jersey. You know, I know you can't see now, but I am a big Jersey girl. At some point I had big hair too. Like anything we can help with business in New Jersey to stay here, to grow, to prosper. You know, New Jersey is heavily regulated, but our lobbyists are amazing, and they are out there, as Michelle always says, pounding the pavement every day to keep business profitable and in the state of New Jersey.
Absolutely
That's
right.
awesome.
All right. Well, I think we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to play a game.
Cool.
And we're back, and it is now time to play a game called Awful or Awesome, which today is brought to you by Prime Point, HRMS, and Payroll. I'm going to name 3 things, and we each have to decide if they're awful or awesome, and then be prepared to defend your answers. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, first up, finishing a good book. And I have to say that all 3 of us were at one time members of the NJBIA book group, which is an unofficial affiliation that we would just read a book and then get together at lunchtime to talk about it every 6 weeks or so. So anyway, finishing a good book, awful or awesome?
Awesome.
Yeah. Finn?
Not a lot to say about that one. Yeah, I'm gonna go awesome. Yeah.
I think it can be bittersweet. Like, there are some times when I'm reading a book and it's so good and I'm like, I can't wait to reread this someday. But then, like, sometimes I finish it and I'm like, I miss these guys. You know, like, I think it could be bittersweet. I mean,
do you ever start a book that you actually hate? But like for me, I have to finish every book. It could be torture, but I have to finish it.
No. I believe firmly that if I've already wasted the money, I should not also waste the time.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I signed up with Goodreads like a while ago, and I know some of our coworkers are on there. And when you start a book, it like tells everybody like, okay, we're gonna pick a book out of the air. Give me a book.
Less by Andrew
Less.
Sean Greer, which I
So it'll be like, Vinny started Less. And then like, I feel like I have to follow through on that promise. Like, you know, like, it's like I told everybody I know I'm reading this book. I have to finish it.
That was my least favorite part of Goodreads. In fact, I got rid of my Goodreads account because I did not like it when Goodreads announced to the world, Kate is reading the Bridgerton series. I wanted to be like, no, I really wasn't.
Because we were friends there, and I was like, did Kate just like all of a sudden you were there and then you weren't there? And I was like, okay. But then I'm with you because when I first got Goodreads, I don't know, Kate's the one that introduced me to it, so I don't know how many years ago, there was a book I put in, and it's still there because I haven't finished it. But it was in my office at work. So the last time I was in Trenton, I grabbed it and I brought it home, and again, I'm like, I'm going to read this book. And still sits, but I'm on my Goodreads, so I can't just delete it. So I don't know.
I think Goodreads should have an option that says quit. Like, I quit this book and I'm proud of it.
Very true.
I've seen people review things and it says like hashtag like didn't finish or something like that, but I don't know. I feel like you can't review a book if you haven't finished it. You know, it could get really good at the end, or they could drop the ball at the end. You don't know.
It could just be terrible. Like I Eat, Pray, Love. I love that book, But then her second book, I forced myself to read because I just had dire hopes it was going to turn good. It never.
There's an Eat, Pray, Love too.
No, well,
it's called
Unbroken, I don't know, horrible.
something. I forget what it's called. Yeah, it wasn't Eat, Pray, Love, basically.
No,
It
not
was
at
okay,
all.
but it wasn't what people had come to expect.
Right. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that one, but I forced myself to read it because that's what I do.
Hmm.
So then I think I binged Bridgerton after because how opposite
needed it.
you go from that book to.
I feel like forcing yourself to read something that's terrible is a good way to hate reading. You know?
That's true.
Gosh. Okay. Anyway, we can talk about books all day. Sorry, we got to keep it moving. All right. Next up on Awful or Awesome, home ownership. And I'm just going to go ahead and say awful. I think it's just costs nothing but money. Something always needs to be fixed. It's just, I don't know. If there weren't equity, if equity weren't a thing, I would say it's a huge waste of money. I guess it's probably not, but I think it's awful. I think homeownership is awful. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Vin, you could go first.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not the handy type. So like when all those things go breaking down, like I got to rely on the wife. She's the handy one in the house. I have no qualms admitting that, whatever. I barely could tell you like which screwdriver does which thing. But like, yeah, there's a lot of that kind of stuff that pops up like all the time. So it's never really fun for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I want to say like I'm in the middle on that one. It's tough. Like I want to say awfully awesome. I'm one of those crazy people that sold and bought a house during COVID, which was kind of awful. I'm now in a house I never thought I'd be in. So right now I'd have to say kind of awful because we have this dream of renovating. Like now I'm living in like a 1950s ranch wood paneled hell. Like everything in this house is a different kind of wood paneling. Like the kitchen is knotty pine. Like there's more types of wood than I've ever known in my house. But I did meet with an architect, so we're getting ready. We're designing plans, so that's kind of awesome. So I don't know. Check back in a year, maybe I'll have a different.
Yeah, it can be really cool when you have something that you hate and then you get rid of it or you make it better. Like I used to have the pool in the back, and that was such a disaster. When we bought it, there was I don't know what you call it, the thing on the top that covers the pool cover, and it had all this like gunk and junk on it. And when I went to go pull off the cover, it all went into the pool, and it was all downhill from there. Like I never managed to get it clean. I spent hours and hours and hours trying. I maybe used the pool once, and everybody had advice for how to fix this or do that or clean this. It never worked. Nobody ever wanted to like be paid to come out and clean it. Like I couldn't even pay somebody to come out and clean this pool. When we finally just bulldozed the thing, and now I had this gigantic open backyard, I was like, all right, not so bad,
Yeah.
That's crazy. I never knew you had a pool that was so.
I know. It's funny too, because that used to be like the thing everybody in the office would always ask me about. Like I would get like at least like 3-4 people a day would pop into my office and be like, how's the pool going? I think it was one of those things like people wanted to like a pick me up. Like if their day was like going kind of bad, like they could at least like check in on me and see like how much worse, like, like how bad was your night, like trying to clean out the pool.
God, that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Home ownership.
Hmm.
All right, last up, networking events. And I have an ulterior motive for this one because we actually help produce a weekly networking event that is awesome. But I will not grab the spotlight. You guys can go. Awful or awesome?
I think that they are awesome in making connections and meeting people. I'm kind of liking the digital networking because like I don't have to get up 3 hours and leave 2 hours to drive to have some bad coffee and maybe a stale donut and drive 2 hours home. Like that's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
But, I think that Zoom fatigue can be real. So you have to be careful of that. But our table for 4 that you were saying is incredibly awesome. It is every Monday, so it doesn't even matter what date I pick. Every Monday except for holidays, then it's Tuesday at noon. This week was amazing. There was almost 60 people, I think, on it. So it's great. You get to see all these new people, meet them. And the incredible thing this week was, I think there was like 5 or 6 people that were from out of state. I mean, 2 people were from Montana. So it's really kind of great the way that it is expanding. And I was on, and I actually had somebody text me and was like, oh my, because they do a Facebook Live in the beginning. And they were like, you're on Facebook Live. This is so awesome. I need to join next week. And I was like, okay, you know, but it's great. You make connections. There's always that chat conversation. It's really fun.
I think I agree with you. I think that the ROI is exponentially higher on a virtual networking, because with the regular networking, the time that you have to put in is like 3 times what it would otherwise be. You've got the driving there, you've got the networking itself, and then you've got the driving back to wherever it is you started or wherever it is you're going next. The virtual is just phenomenal, and Table for 4 is such a great experience for connecting people, both like connecting, reconnecting. So it's always a nice mix of people who've been attending, and new faces. So I love being able to reconnect, and I love meeting new people. So I think it's awesome.
Yeah, and for those people that have never joined, which you should, I hope to see you next Monday, whenever this may air. It's fun because you actually go into like a room where it's just 4 people. It's not you in this swarm where everybody's talking over each other on Zoom and you have no idea other than whose box is highlighted, who's speaking. We do 2, almost every time they've been 20-minute breakouts where you're actually seated at a, whatever that word is, I want to say, at a table. So you really get quality time. It's you know, it's a lot of fun.
Yep. And if you sponsor, you get the registration list. So then you get to like really follow up with some of these folks. Great. All right, Vinny, as an introvert, I suspect that this is your worst nightmare, networking.
I was going to say, it took me like 13, 14 years to really start to actually enjoy networking events. And then COVID happened and they all went online. So if the pandemic goes on like another like 12, 13 years, maybe by then I'll have gotten used to it. So we'll check in then. If this show is still going on 12, 13 years from now, ask me again. No, it's like
we're all still stuck at home in 12 or 13 years.
I know, right? No, it's one of those things, like, I don't know what it is when we're at these virtual events and it pops up like, okay, you're going to be directed to a breakout room. There's a button on my screen, so I click it. And I don't understand why everybody doesn't just click the button at once, because what always winds up happening is I'm in the room and it's me. And then there's someone else and it's just the 2 of us for like a minute. And I'm like, well, hi, I don't know what to talk about. So I can use some tips. One of these shows will do like tips for, you know, virtual networking events.
But I'm always the one that I do hit the button, but lack of computer sometimes skills, it takes me that long. So I come in and somebody's already halfway through their introduction and I'm like, sorry, not for lack of trying. It's just, I don't know, maybe the internet doesn't come through my wood paneling so fast. I'm not sure. It just like is blocked. I'm that person and they're like, oh, we did have a 4th. And I'm like, yeah, I was in cyberspace for a little while. Sorry.
That's fair.
All right. So I think that was the game.
Cool. Katie, anything coming up you want to promote?
We have a lot of coming up. I mean, BIA, Kate, you could answer this better. How many events do we do, like a week?
Oh my God. A week? 2 to 3? Right. I mean, between MDMs, networking events, policy committee meetings, council meetings, regular webinars, I think we did like 200 events last year, all in. It was incredible. Incredible the number of events that we did. Yeah, I agree. And, you know, shout out to the whole team. We couldn't have done it without Katie and Vinny and all of the rest of the great staff at BIA. It's a team effort. Like when it's really time to like be boots on the ground, get the stuff done, you can always ask for help and people are always so happy to help. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. And our webinars are all archived for people that don't know, that might want to go back or rewatch something. I mean, when COVID hit, we couldn't get out enough information about loans and grants and PPPs and PPEs and everything else. And they are all archived on our website. I mean, I think in any kind of promotion, telling people to go to our website, There's so much information we put out there, whether it's on new policy coming out, what our lobbyists are working on, any of our benefits, why join, any resources. I mean, we just have so much. We have our back to work marketplace where members can promote themselves. So it's really, there's really so much information. I think the best way is to go to our website. And a lot of people question, like, well, I can't change or switch now, but you can switch at any time, whether it's your health benefits, your payroll processing. And sometimes it takes that long to just look. If you're looking to even switch in the fall, start now. Email me, call me, let's have a conversation just to start it going. You know, we have a lot of stuff.
It's so true. I always think, like, for most businesses, they either want to make more money or save more money. And the make more money usually is a part of a sales process. Most businesses sell something. And you always have to remember that making more money costs you money because you have to pay a salesperson to do it. Whereas saving money costs nothing. It's just a little bit of your time doing a little bit of research. It's fantastic. Absolutely essential, I think. And by the way, the Awful or Awesome was brought to you by Prime Point Payroll. So thank you again for that. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Prime Point.
Thank you, Prime Point.
I think too, the one thing we have to say is that, you know, we're statewide. We're not local. You know, we're local to everybody. So if you're in Cape May County and you want somebody in Passaic County, like, you call one of us, we can connect you. Like, that's the great thing about BIA is, you know, we are there to connect, whether it's to something to save you money, something to keep you compliant, or just another business. That's what we are for.
Yeah, in fact, when COVID hit, we became like a giant call center for members and non-members alike. All three of us, including right up to the president and CEO, Michelle Sakurka. Shout out to Michelle. We all were taking calls and returning calls and trying to direct people to the right resources that they needed, whether it was EDA or Business Action Center or everything. It was surreal to watch our organization transform remotely, because at that point we were all at home doing this on our phones, our cell phones. It's ridiculous. Anyway.
Absolutely. And to be the leader, you know, with the business coalition that we created and worked with other amazing organizations in the state, that we are still out there. You know, we still have the business roundtables. We are there for everybody. When somebody says, well, I'm not really in your industry, we don't have a specific industry. We are everybody, you know, from the local landscaper, pizzeria, to the large pharma, utilities, you know, and everybody in between. So that's
it's a misnomer. People think association, and a lot of people think that it's industry specific, because for many associations it is, like the American Medical Association or the American Dental Association. But because we're the Business and Industry Association, anyone and everyone is welcome, and we really do cover all bases.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Katie, how can people get a hold of you if they want to take advantage of any of this?
You want me to give my email over here?
I mean, it's
personal cell phone
you can
number.
give your email. It's okay. NJBIA.org. How's that?
Yeah, at BIA.org. You know, you hit the contact us button and we'll get it. You know, I will get it. Somebody will send it to me, or, you know, Wittkamp on my screen at NJBIA.org.
There you go.
Perfect. Or just dial our number.
I was going to say, I think you were the first person to be like, wait, should I share my email? All good.
Nice. All right. Well, I think that is our show. Thank you so much to our listeners. Thank you to our subscribers. We so appreciate the support. Thank you to New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group, the official sponsor of the show. They do home, auto, and workers' comp, so check them out. Another thank you to Prime Point for sponsoring the Awful or Awesome game. And finally, thank you to Katie Wittkamp of NJBIA for joining us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It was fun catching up.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.